what I remember, like the first memories I have of like meeting Abbie were middle school. I was friends with, I guess, like the cooler guys on the swim team who were all really good at talking to girls, and she was friends with like the girls that were the year above us, and they were like really cool, and every time they came around, like I wouldn't say a word, and they'd always want to talk to like CJ and Townsend, and I would just kind of like, I'd be there. It's funny because like I can remember that and just kind of being like, I couldn't talk, but I was like, she's pretty cool.
I just remember talking to him with a couple other girls and remembered him being really, really nice and he seemed a little bit more mature than all the other boys. Just very polite and really respectable.
What's really cool though is that like I became like really good friends with her before it was like, oh, I want to like date Abbie. We like bonded really well. She was like one of those girls that I was like, I just like talking to you. It's like I just feel really comfortable around you, and then gradually learned like, oh, it's because I really like you.
I remember saying I hope that he marries my sister, so then he'd be my brother. Later on that year, on spring break, I left and was at the beach, and he was in Chicago, and I didn't have very good service, and so he had texted me and I was trying to get back to him, and that's when I realized, I was like, I really miss him. So I started questioning myself, like, why do I miss him so much? I think maybe I really care about him more than a friend.
Freshman year of college, finally got the guts to ask her on a date. I mean, I'd been chasing her for like 3 years, so finally got the chance for a date. It took me like, honestly, it took me a week to ask her to go on the date because I got like so nervous.
Our first date was really fun. We went to Naples, which he didn't tell me where we were going for the first date either. Dinner was so awkward. I just didn't know what to do with myself because I was like, we've been best friends for so long, and now what do I do with my hands? And tried to be really polite the whole time, and like totally was not myself.
But like Radcliffe's just like got this really deep root like in our history, and so I was like, I've always dreamed about like bringing her back here for like the first date. So like we came back and like sat up on the hill and just talked.
And it was really fun and sweet that I felt so awkward, but it felt so right because he made me comfortable enough to be like, oh, I don't have to feel awkward. You're you. So we were supposed to go to dinner for Christmas. And I didn't know that that's what was coming. And when he picked me up, he was normal and said, he was like, hey, this date's a little bit different. Could I blindfold you? Like the surprise is kind of different. And I was like, yeah. Had no idea where we were going. Got to KRC, and when I got out and he took the blindfold off, I knew where I was, and that's when I was like, oh, I hope this is a proposal. But he had a picture of me in a letter, and that's when I realized, I was like, oh, this is it. Which was just awesome. He had kind of written our story in the order that it happened. Like it started out, we lived a street away from each other when we were toddlers in the same neighborhood. Started at KRC when we were little kids, and so just told our story throughout all the letters, which was really cool to hear it from his perspective, and just to see like, look what the Lord has written in our lives, having us near each other the whole time, and then him proposing and just being like, we get to keep, it's gonna keep being written. Yeah, it was really, I'm about to cry thinking about it. It just was really, really special.
I guess the thing I like the most about Abbie is her heart. Just the amount of love she can show, and like, not just the amount of love she can show, but like authenticity there is to her love. And it's cool being around someone like Abbie because she just pours it out, and like there's no like fake side to it. Like she's not trying to like put on this show and act like she loves something. It's like, no, like if I love something, I'm gonna like show that. There's just something about like her heart that's massively attractive.
Yeah, he just is very thoughtful and very kind. in the ways that he loves the people around him, and it's really genuine.
Her eyes are pretty awesome. They're just beautiful.
He always tells me I look nice, which I try to be humble about and not care very much, but I kind of want to just be like, do you mean I look clean or like neatly pressed, or do you think I'm beautiful? Because I'd rather be beautiful and not clean looking or nice.
She wants me to like say something, like or like have a certain response, but she won't tell me. But she really wants it. Like she's like will expect me to like deliver it. That's really hard sometimes, or a lot of times, because like how am I supposed to know? Like how am I supposed to know that? Like I didn't know to say that certain thing, but.
And he's recently started. It's only happened a few times, beatboxing in the car, and I really don't think I like that very much.
I'm really excited to live together. I don't know, like start anew, like our own life together. And with that, like starting like our own, like here's like our old lives before, but now like uniting as one. And like what that will look like as far as like where we've come from, and like taking like good things from our like individual pasts and like the bad things and forming them into like our own decisions and our own plan and life.
I'm excited to have someone that has promised to like be there.
And so that's exciting to like think about getting to spend the rest of our lives together. Like knowing that like Abbie's the one that like I'll be with is really cool. I'm definitely excited about that.